Hi there, it's Noreen Smith from Organized and Creative Mom here for Creative Scrapbooker Magazine's Technique Tasters. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make some really cute and easy shaker cards using Creative Memories tools and paper. So thanks very much for joining me today. You probably know shaker cards get their name because they're filled with all these lovely little bits that when you shake them around in their little window, they're quite fun to look at and to play with. They're fun to make as well, and they're quite easy, and I'm going to show you how we're going to make them. First off, we're going to make the window portion using product by Creative Memories called Peekaboo pockets. And these are really just 4 by 6 inch pockets. They're meant for you to slip a photo into. Just get a photo of my two boys here, slip that in. And then they have a sticky flap. You just peel that off. And there's a sticky flap on the back, and you can put that right onto a scrapbook page, and then that can become an interactive element. So that's really fun to use, you know, for journaling, for cards, anything that would fit in a 4 by 4 pocket. That would be a cute little card to put in there, and then you could have the photo on one side and the card on the other, flip it back and forth. So these Peekaboo pockets are great for scrapbooking, but because they're made of that clear see-through plastic, they're great to use for something like this where we want a clear view through. Okay, so we're going to use the pocket for the shaker window. We're going to cut the window out with our Creative Memories custom cutting system. So some of you are familiar with this. This has been a staple Creative Memories tool for many, many years. You can get them in this Gemstone Templates. We're going to use this diamond shape today, but you can also get them in squares, ovals, circles, and in larger sizes as well. So these are a great tool, and the real benefit of these is that because you're cutting with a template, you can place it anywhere on a piece of paper and cut through, not unlike a punch where you're pretty much limited to punching on the side of the paper. So we're going to use this particular gemstone pattern, this diamond shape, to cut out this shape on our card. The paper that we're going to be using is the new Frost paper. This is actually from the Accent paper pack, and you can probably see that it has some incredible foil details on it. The bow was created with this embossed bow punch. So this is another new punch, new tool from Creative Memories. And it's great because not only does it give you the shape, but it also embosses. So this is the gold dual tip pen. You can see I just added a little bit of detail around the edge there. And then to make the confetti, we're actually going to use our original border maker system, and hope you can see that this is the Midnight Star Punch. And this Midnight Star Punch will give us a whole bunch of little bits when we punch it out, and that's what is the confetti inside the shaker card. All right, so let's make the window in our card. So we're going to be using the Frost navy and gold paper, and I've cut this to be 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches long, just a rectangle. And then I'm just using it with a standard card base, which measures 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is just use my repositionable adhesive to just tack this down onto the card front. And we're going to cut through both pieces at the same time. So just open it up. I'm just going to place my card with its decorative paper there. And then I can use this handy template guide to see where I would want to place the template. But I already kind of have an idea. So I'm going to place the diamond template right in the middle there. Now you might be able to see that on the inside of this shape you'll see red, green, and blue lines. That means if I use the blue blade, this is the size of shape that I would get. So I want the smallest one, which is the blue blade. Okay, this is really nice to use. There's 2 little pegs that fit in the track that goes around, and because the blade assembly twists, you don't have to move your arm a lot. It's just a nice kind of ergonomic cut. go around again just one more time, just so I make sure that it's cut through both pieces of paper. It has, okay? It sure has, great. So you can see now that I have the two shapes. Those would be great for a little layout actually, so I might hang on to those. And I've got a nice clean cut through both pieces. All right, so now I'm gonna take that decorative paper off. The nice thing about the repositionable adhesive is that it keeps it together, but it's easy to remove. All right, now let's go ahead and make some confetti. You can see that I've already done that on the bronze shimmer paper, but I'm just going to show you again how to use the border maker, and then I've got some confetti pre-made for us. So the border maker assembly is the guide and the punch. What we do is we pull out the paper guide on the bottom, snap it into place, and lift up the holder. You can see that this is magnetic. We're just going to slide our paper right into the guide so that we make sure it fits nice and squarely, and snap down the holder. Now we move the guide, we fold it back and out of the way, and we're ready to go. Now, this is the punch mechanism, and basically when we put our border maker cartridge inside it, this acts just like a regular punch would. The notches are going to fit into the grooves on the back of the assembly. So we just slide our paper in between here, and you'll feel it sort of lock into place in the grooves, and we're just going to punch. Great, and we've got this lovely confetti. Okay, love that bronze shimmer. Now I already went ahead and punched a whole bunch of confetti. So I've got that all right here. We're just going to add this in, and then we're going to put all of our little bits of confetti into our Peekaboo pocket. Now you might be wondering what colors I've used here. I've actually used the bronze shimmer, white, and navy cardstock. Okay, now this Peekaboo pocket measures 4 by 6, and as we said, this card is a little bit smaller than that, so we're going to have to trim it down a little bit. So what I like to do is kind of get my confetti into one spot. So I'm just going to kind of measure it out. I'm going to use my scissors here and just trim it so that it's just a little bit smaller than my paper size. I'm just going to use my regular tape runner to adhere this down. It's going to adhere onto the card, and then of course we're going to cover it up with the decorative paper. So just give it some good adhesive there. Okay. And then the fact that this is double-sided adhesive, of course, when we apply our decorative piece on top, it's going to cover over top of that. All right, so let's just, we've already got a little bit of that repositionable adhesive. Let's just get some nice, strong, permanent tape runner adhesive on there. Okay. So that's really what I've done to create this card, all right? And all I did to kind of enhance it was to make little sort of faux dashes or faux stitches all the way around. You can get a sense of how that would look. And then I also punched a bow with the bronze cardstock. And you can see how nice that is with the embossing. And I'm going to adhere that onto the top of the shape with some foam squares. And there's my card done. Now you'll notice that on this one I've used some white letters, white's ABC 1, 2, 3 sticker letters to spell out Mary. I really like the way that looks on top of the window. But because we also have some stickers that go with the Frost collection, I might just use some of those. And there's my second card. Okay, so really quite fast, quite easy, and not a lot of, hard to find supplies. Now you might have seen that other card that I made. This is actually a 4x6 matte card, and I've just trimmed it down to, again, that 5¼ inch length. And then instead of creating the diamond shape, I actually used a circle, cut through both with the circle, and I added some navy, white, and silver shimmer stars and confetti in there, and topped it off with a little bow as well. Lots of variations are possible with this sort of technique, and using those peekaboo pockets. They're a great size for cards, and again, I hope you also try them on your layouts. All right, so I hope you enjoy that. I hope you try out making your own shaker cards. And again, thanks to Creative Scrapbooker Magazine for having me today.